Hi everyone. Well, this is a special video that I'm making for my friend Mike Bass, who's one of my viewers. He's been kind of at me for a while now, reminding me time and time again that he wants to see a best of Simon and Garfunkel list, my top 10. And I could swear I made this video before. I know I did one for Paul Simon. I thought I did one for Simon and Garfunkel, but if I didn't, here it is, okay? Top 10. Kind of easy until I get to the top 5. So with no frills, no special effects, no music or anything, here we go. Number 10, I went with A Hazy Shade of Winter. Now, I'm going to say here that there's going to be a song on here that everybody's going to expect should be on this list, and there's going to be endless comments saying, why isn't it here? Why isn't it here? And I'll say right now that if this particular song were to be on the list that's missing, I would have probably just made it at number 11. It just missed. Okay, I'll get to that at the end of the list. Let's see if you could figure which song is not here. So number 10, A Hazy Shade of Winter. Number 9, I went with Bridge Over Troubled Water. You know, I have trouble sometimes knowing whether the song is Troubled Waters or Water. I think it's Water without the S. I didn't look it up. That's number 9. Number 8, I went with El Condor Pasa for my number 8, also known as If I Could, in parentheses. So there you go. Number 7, I went with The Boxer. I like The Boxer quite a bit. The only thing about it is it drags on too long at the end to me, but all that stuff before we get to the end is pretty good. Number 6, Homeward Bound. That's my number 6 choice. Now the top 5. And as I often say whenever I do these compilations, these lists, these best of rankings, I always say, you know, these top 5 are so good. Any of them could be number 1 at any time. Depends on my mood. To put these 5 songs in order of preference from 5 to 1 or 1 to 5, very difficult. Number 5, I went with Cecilia from 1970. Cecilia is a real personal favorite song of mine in my life, actually, because I have a very special memory of my mom and myself going to a department store in 1970. I was just a little kid at the time, and we went to the store and she wanted to buy that single. And I've always liked that song, but I always associate it with my mom and those great days of summer of 1970 and the innocence of childhood, of course. So Cecilia at number 5. Number 4, I went with I Am a Rock. Just a great song. Number 3, Mrs. Robinson. All these songs could be number 1, these last 5, as I say. You know, I don't know whether to make that my number 1 or number 3. Today it's number 3. Number 2, I went with Scarborough Fair / Canticle. Beautiful song. Touches me anytime I happen to be fortunate enough to catch it on the radio. Has to be an oldies station, very oldies station. Number 1, I went with Sounds of Silence. Now, Sound of Silence is probably, at the moment, maybe for all time, my favorite Simon and Garfunkel song. I notice that sometimes they call it Sounds of Silence with an S. That was the way it was originally released, and then it's more commonly known today as Sound of Silence. But Sound of Sounds, it takes the number 1 spot. Now, of course, a lot of you have figured out by now which song is it that you expect to be on here that's not on my top 10. The song is America. America has a really nice sentiment to it. I'm not much of it as far as the flow of it or the structure of it, but it would have been number 11 as I was looking at all the songs that I like. So it just missed. Okay, Mike, there you go. And anybody else, feel free to comment. I'm sure everybody will give your thoughts. Take care.